Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich stay.
At All-Star Weekend, you and Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich stay rich.
You gotta save this money. I'm gonna see you next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At night?
No, at practice.
Oh, at practice?
I mean, I know y'all gonna lose, but if y'all lose,
I get to have that.
if y'all win, you get 400.
And if we lose, then you get to keep.
No, you owe me 400.
But I'm saying on it.
The WNBA just handed us the smoking gun that proves what we have been documenting for 3 straight seasons, and they were stupid enough to post it themselves. Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers were caught on camera making a bet on their own game, not a friendly side wager, not a joke for the cameras. An actual documented rulebook violating bet on the outcome of a WNBA game between the Chicago Sky and the Golden State Valkyries. And the league's official social media account posted the confession, realized what they had done, and then deleted it in a panic. But the internet is forever. The screenshots are everywhere, the clips are saved, and every single person who has been telling you that this league operates with integrity just got exposed in the most brutal, undeniable, catastrophic way possible. Welcome back. This is WNBA Flash. And today we are ripping the doors off the biggest gambling scandal in women's basketball history, a scandal the league tried to cover up by hitting delete and pretending it never happened. Let me be entirely clear with you. This is not speculation. This is not a hot take. This is not me reading tea leaves or connecting dots that do not exist. Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers made a bet at All-Star Weekend about a regular season game. They discussed the terms on camera. Angel Reese then went on social media after the game and said she would be requesting her Apple Pay. The WNBA posted the video. The WNBA deleted the video. And now the WNBA is pretending that none of this is a big deal. But here is what the WNBA rulebook says, and I want every single person watching this video to listen closely, because this is the part that nobody on TV is willing to read out loud. Quote, any player found by the commissioner after a hearing to have been guilty of wagering directly or indirectly, or of offering or attempting to wager money or anything of value on the outcome, score, or any other aspect of any WNBA competition shall, in the sole discretion of the commissioner, be subject to a fine, suspension, and / or dismissal and disqualification from any further association with the WNBA. End quote. That is not a suggestion. That is not a guideline. That is the rule. And according to that rule, Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers should be banned from the WNBA. Banned, not fined, not suspended for 2 games. Banned from any further association with the league, but something tells me that is not going to happen. Something tells me the league is going to issue a soft statement, slap them with a meaningless fine, and move on. And the reason I know that is because of who these 2 players are. Paige Bueckers is the token white star the league has been grooming as the next face of women's basketball. Angel Reese is the token social justice warrior who knows every word of the so-called Black national anthem and performs for the cameras at every opportunity. The league protects them. The media protects them. And the establishment is going to protect them now. But we are not going to let this slide. Before I break down exactly what happened, exactly what the rulebook says, and exactly why this is the biggest double standard in professional sports, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment telling me whether you think these 2 are getting banned or getting away with it, and subscribe to this channel so you do not miss what is coming next. Because tomorrow we are breaking down the fallout from this scandal, and trust me, you are going to want to see the receipts.
This is during the game. Angel Reese was pissed her teammates didn't pass her the ball. The next possession, she got swatted. Here it is. Ryan Howard sees Angel Reese wide open. Ryan Howard says, nah, you're trash. Hell out of here. You're trash. I'm not giving you the ball. Oh, give me the ball. That's what Angel Reese is saying in turn. Oh, give me the ball. I gotta miss this layup. And then the very next possession, you can't make this up. Look at her teammates. Angel, it's okay, Angel. It's okay. It's okay. We saw you.
Let me walk you through the timeline because the details matter. This was not some off-the-cuff joke that got taken out of context. This was premeditated. This was planned. This was discussed at All-Star Weekend, which took place weeks before the actual game in question. Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers sat down, looked at the schedule, saw that the Chicago Sky and the Golden State Valkyries were going to play each other, and made a bet on the outcome. They agreed to terms. They shook on it, and then they went on camera and talked about it like it was the most normal thing in the world. The WNBA official social media account posted a video of the 2 of them at All-Star Weekend casually discussing the bet. In the video, you can hear them talking about the upcoming game. You can hear them agreeing that whoever's team loses has to pay up. You can hear Paige Bueckers saying, you owe me if y'all lose. You can hear Angel Reese laughing and saying, no, you owe me. This was not vague. This was not ambiguous. This was a direct, explicit, on-camera confession that they had placed a wager on a WNBA game, and then the game happened. The Golden State Valkyries beat the Chicago Sky. Angel Reese had one of the worst performances of her career, missing wide-open layups, getting blocked at the rim, looking completely lost on the court. And after the game, Angel Reese went on social media and posted that she would be requesting her Apple Pay from Paige Bueckers. She said it out loud on the internet, where millions of people could see it. The WNBA saw it too, and instead of immediately launching an investigation, instead of suspending both players pending a hearing, instead of doing literally anything that a professional sports league is supposed to do when players admit to gambling on their own games, the WNBA social media team posted the All-Star Weekend video as if it were cute content, as if it were funny, as if it were something to celebrate. And then someone in the league office realized what they had just done. Someone realized that they had just posted evidence of a rulebook violation. Someone realized that they had just handed every gambler, every investigator, every person who has been saying for years that this league is corrupt, the single biggest piece of proof they could ever ask for. And so they hit delete, they scrubbed the post, they pretended it never happened, but the internet does not forget. The screenshots are everywhere, the clips have been downloaded and re-uploaded 1,000 times, and now the league has a choice. They can enforce their own rules and ban 2 of their biggest stars, or they can prove once and for all that the WNBA operates with a double standard that would never, ever be tolerated in the NBA.
Look, WNBA deletes post of Paige Bueckers' Angel Reese making bet on their game. Leave it to the WNBA to create a potential gambling scandal of its own making involving 2 of its most high-profile stars. The league's official X account posted, and since deleted, these idiots posted it. That's not Kathy Engelbert's, well, it is Kathy Engelbert. It's whoever hires these people. That's whose fault it is. You hire idiots. That's our problem too.
Now, before I show you the clip that the WNBA tried to erase from existence, I need you to understand the context. Because this is not just about 2 players making a stupid mistake. This is about a pattern of behavior. This is about a league that has been accused of point shaving, game fixing, and referee manipulation for years. This is about a league that calls fouls one way for certain players and refuses to call them for others. This is about a league that has been operating in the shadows, protected by a media establishment that refuses to ask hard questions, and now the mask has finally slipped. I have been covering this league for long enough to know that when something looks suspicious, it usually is. I have been documenting the officiating inconsistencies. I have been tracking the bizarre rotations and the inexplicable late-game collapses. I have been watching Angel Reese miss layups that a high school player would make, and I have been asking myself, is she really this bad or is something else going on? And now we have an answer. Now we know that at least one game, the game between the Chicago Sky and the Golden State Valkyries, had 2 players who had a financial incentive to see a specific outcome. We know that Angel Reese had money on the line. We know that Paige Bueckers had money on the line. And we know that the league knew about it, posted about it, and then tried to cover it up. So let me show you the clip. This is the video that the WNBA deleted. This is the confession that they tried to scrub from the internet. And I want you to watch it closely because after you see this, you are going to understand exactly why the league panicked.
Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich
At All-Star Weekend, you and Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich stay rich.
You gotta save this money. I'm gonna see you next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At night?
No, at practice.
Oh, at practice?
I mean, I know y'all gonna lose, but if y'all lose,
I get to have that.
if y'all win, you get 400.
I get 400. And if we lose, then you get to keep.
No, you owe me 400.
Bet I'm staying on it.
Did you catch that? Let me play it back for you in case you missed it. You and Angel made a bet with each other on this game. That is the interviewer, not a rumor, not a leaked report. The interviewer is confirming on camera that Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers made a bet on an upcoming WNBA game, and then you hear them laughing about it, you hear them talking about the terms. You hear Paige Bueckers saying, "You owe me if y'all lose." You hear Angel Reese saying, "No, you owe me." This is not a joke, this is not friendly banter. This is a direct admission that they wagered something of value on the outcome of a professional basketball game, and according to the WNBA rulebook, that is an automatic disqualification. That is a ban, that is the end of your career, but here is what makes this even worse. After the game, after the Golden State Valkyries won, after Angel Reese played one of the most suspiciously terrible games of her career, she went on social media and said she would be requesting her Apple Pay. She confirmed that money changed hands. She confirmed that the bet was real. She confirmed that she lost and Paige won. And the league did nothing. Let me say that again so it sinks in. Angel Reese publicly admitted that she paid Paige Bueckers after losing a bet on a WNBA game. And the league's response was to post the video, delete the video, and hope that everyone would forget about it. That is not how professional sports leagues operate. That is how money laundering schemes operate. That is how corrupt organizations operate. And if you think I am being dramatic, let me remind you of what happens when NBA players get caught gambling. Jonte Porter was banned for life. Banned for life. He did not even bet on his own games. He was accused of sharing information with gamblers, and the NBA kicked him out of the league permanently. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, also named Michael Porter, faced an FBI investigation for alleged gambling activity. Damon Jones was investigated. Chauncey Billups was investigated. Gilbert Arenas has talked openly about the league's crackdown on gambling. The NBA does not mess around with this. The NBA knows that the integrity of the game is everything. The NBA knows that if fans even suspect that outcomes are being influenced by gambling, the entire league collapses. But the WNBA posts the confession on social media and then deletes it when people start asking questions.
This is during the game. Angel Reese was pissed her teammates didn't pass her the ball. The next possession, she got swatted. Here it is. Ryan Howard sees Angel Reese wide open. Ryan Howard says, "Nah, you're trash. Hell out of here. You're trash. I'm not giving you the ball." "Oh, give me the ball." That's what Angel Reese is saying in turn. "Oh, give me the ball. I gotta miss this layup." And then the very next possession, you can't make this up. Look at her teammates. "Angel, it's okay, Angel. It's okay. It's okay. We saw you."
Now let me show you the WNBA rulebook, because I want every single person watching this video to see the exact language that Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers just violated. This is not my interpretation. This is not me twisting words. This is the rule word for word as it appears in the official WNBA player handbook. Here is what it says. Quote, "Any player found by the commissioner after a hearing to have been guilty of wagering, directly or indirectly, or of offering or attempting to wager money or anything of value on the outcome, score, or any other aspect of any WNBA competition shall, in the sole discretion of the commissioner, be subject to a fine, suspension, and / or dismissal and disqualification from any further association with the WNBA." End quote. Let me break that down for you. Wagering, directly or indirectly. That means you do not have to place the bet yourself. If you offer to wager, if you attempt to wager, if you participate in any way in a gambling arrangement involving a WNBA game, you are in violation. Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers wagered directly. They made the bet themselves. They agreed to the terms themselves. They paid each other themselves. Money or anything of value. That means it does not matter if it was $100 or $1,000 or a penny. If something of value changed hands based on the outcome of a WNBA game, that is a violation. Angel Reese said she would be requesting her Apple Pay. That is money, that is value, that is a violation. On the outcome, score, or any other aspect of any WNBA competition. That means you cannot bet on who wins, you cannot bet on the final score. You cannot bet on individual player performance. You cannot bet on anything related to a WNBA game. Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers bet on who would win the game between the Chicago Sky and the Golden State Valkyries. That is a direct violation. Shall be subject to a fine, suspension, and / or dismissal and disqualification from any further association with the WNBA. That means the commissioner has 3 options: fine them, suspend them, or ban them. And the rulebook says that the most severe penalty, the ban, is absolutely on the table. So let me ask you a question. If the rulebook says that players who gamble on WNBA games can be banned from the league, and if Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers admitted on camera that they gambled on a WNBA game, why are they still playing? Why has the league not announced an investigation? Why has Commissioner Kathy Engelbert not held a press conference to address this? Why is the media pretending that this is not a massive, league-threatening scandal? I will tell you why. Because the WNBA operates with a double standard that protects its stars. Because Paige Bueckers is the next Golden Girl and the league cannot afford to lose her before she even gets drafted. Because Angel Reese is the social media darling, and the league cannot afford to admit that she violated the integrity of the game. Because the establishment has decided that some players are too important to punish. But imagine if this were the NBA. Imagine if LeBron James and Steph Curry made a bet on a Lakers-Warriors game, posted about it on social media, and then paid each other after the game. Do you think the NBA would delete the post and move on? Do you think the media would ignore it? Do you think the FBI would not get involved? Of course not. There would be a federal investigation within 24 hours. There would be suspensions. There would be hearings. There would be consequences. Because the NBA knows that if you let players gamble on games, the entire league loses credibility. The entire league becomes a joke. The entire league turns into exactly what people have been accusing the WNBA of being for years: a rigged, corrupt, money laundering operations.
Look, WNBA deletes post of Paige Bueckers, Angel Reese making bet on their game. Leave it to the WNBA to create a potential gambling scandal of its own making involving 2 of its most high-profile stars. The league's official X account posted, and since deleted, these idiots posted it. That's not Kathy Engelbert's, well, it is Kathy Engelbert. It's whoever hires these people. That's whose fault it is. You hire idiots. That's our problem too.
Now let me show you the game footage, because this is where the story gets even more suspicious. After Angel Reese made the bet with Paige Bueckers, after she agreed that whoever's team lost would have to pay up, Angel Reese went out and played one of the worst games of her professional career. And I do not mean she had an off night. I do not mean she struggled with her shot. I mean she looked like she was actively trying to lose. Let me show you what I am talking about. This is from the game against the Golden State Valkyries. Watch Angel Reese on this possession. Her teammate sees her wide open under the basket. Her teammate has the ball and is about to pass it to her. And what does Angel Reese do? She waves her off. She literally tells her teammate not to pass her the ball. Why? Why would a professional basketball player in the middle of a close game wave off a pass when she is wide open under the basket? And then on the very next possession, Angel Reese gets the ball in the post. She has position, she has the angle, she goes up for the layup, and she gets swatted, blocked, rejected by a player who is 3 inches shorter than her. How does that happen? How does a 6'3" forward with a size advantage get blocked on a wide open layup? And then it happens again. Angel Reese gets the ball, she is all alone under the basket, she takes one dribble, she goes up for the shot, and she misses. A wide open layup. From 2 feet away, she misses. You cannot make this up. You cannot be this bad unless you are trying to be this bad. And now we know that Angel Reese had money on the line. Now we know that she had a financial incentive to see her team lose. Now we know that the game was not clean. Did you see that? Did you see Angel Reese waving off her teammate demanding the ball and then getting blocked? Did you see her miss the wide open layup on the very next possession? That is not bad luck. That is not an off night. That is a player who is either completely incompetent or deliberately throwing the game. And given that we now know she had money on the line, which explanation makes more sense, let me be clear. I am not saying that Angel Reese is a bad player. I am not saying that she does not belong in the WNBA. What I am saying is that when you watch a player miss 3 consecutive wide-open shots in a game where she has admitted to having a financial stake in the outcome, you have to ask questions. You have to wonder. You have to demand answers. And the WNBA is not giving us answers. The WNBA is deleting posts and hoping that we forget. The WNBA is protecting Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers because they are too valuable to lose. The WNBA is proving, once again, that the rules do not apply to everyone. Now let me talk about the double standard because this is what really gets under my skin. If this were 2 NBA players, they would already be suspended. If this were 2 male athletes in any professional sport, there would be an investigation. There would be hearings. There would be consequences. But because this is the WNBA, because this is women's basketball, because this is a league that operates in the shadows and gets a free pass from the media, nothing is going to happen. Let me give you some context. In the NBA, players have been banned for life for gambling-related offenses. Jonte Porter was kicked out of the league permanently. He did not bet on his own games. He was accused of sharing information with gamblers. That was enough to end his career. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother faced an FBI investigation. Damon Jones was investigated for alleged gambling activity. Chauncey Billups was investigated. Gilbert Arenas has talked about the league's strict policies. The NBA does not play games when it comes to gambling. The NBA knows that the moment fans start to suspect that outcomes are being influenced by bets, the entire league loses credibility. But the WNBA lets 2 of its biggest stars admit to gambling on a game, posts the confession on social media, deletes it when people notice, and then moves on like nothing happened. That is not a professional sports league. That is a corrupt organization that operates by different rules for different people. And here's the thing that nobody wants to say out loud. If Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers were men, they would be facing federal charges right now. The FBI would be pulling their bank records. Investigators would be looking at their DraftKings accounts, their FanDuel accounts, their Venmo transactions. Because when professional athletes gamble on their own games, that is not just a league violation. That is a crime. That is fraud. That is conspiracy to fix the outcome of a sporting event. But because this is the WNBA, because the league is protected by a media establishment that refuses to ask hard questions, because Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers are the faces of women's basketball, nothing is going to happen. They are going to get a slap on the wrist. They are going to issue a meaningless apology, and the league is going to move on. Let me show you one more clip because I want you to see how blatant this was. This is the WNBA official social media account posting about the bet. This is not a rumor. This is not a leak. This is the league itself confirming that Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers made a wager on a WNBA game. And then when people started pointing out that this was a rulebook violation, the league deleted the post and pretended it never happened. There it is, the WNBA official account posted about the bet and then they deleted it. That is not transparency. That is a cover-up. That is the league admitting that they made a mistake and then trying to erase the evidence. But the evidence is still out there. The screenshots exist. The clips have been saved. And now the league has to answer for it. So let me lay out exactly what needs to happen next. Because if the WNBA has any integrity left, if the WNBA wants to be taken seriously as a professional sports league, if the WNBA wants fans to believe that games are not being fixed, then Commissioner Kathy Engelbert needs to do 5 things immediately. Prediction number 1, Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers need to be suspended immediately pending a full investigation. Not fined, not given a warning. Suspended. You cannot let players who admitted to gambling on a game continue to play while you figure out what to do. That sends the message that the rules do not matter. That sends the message that if you are a big enough star, you can get away with anything. Suspend them today, investigate the details, and then decide on the appropriate punishment. If Commissioner Kathy Engelbert does not suspend Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers within the next 72 hours, I want every single person watching this video to come back to the comments and tell me I was right. Because that will be proof that the WNBA operates with a double standard. That will be proof that the league protects its stars no matter what they do. And that will be proof that the integrity of the game means nothing. Prediction number 2. The FBI needs to open an investigation into gambling activity in the WNBA, not the league office, not some internal review committee. The FBI, because when professional athletes admit to gambling on their own games, that is a federal crime, that is fraud, that is conspiracy. And if the WNBA is not going to take it seriously, then federal investigators need to step in and do the job that the league refuses to do. I am telling you right now, if the FBI pulls the DraftKings data, if they pull the FanDuel data, if they start looking at betting patterns on WNBA games over the last 3 seasons, they are going to find something. They are going to find suspicious activity. They are going to find patterns that do not make sense. And they are going to find evidence that this league has been compromised by gambling for a long time. Mark this prediction. Save this video. If the FBI opens an investigation into the WNBA within the next 6 months, come back and tell me I called it. Prediction number 3. The media is going to bury this story. ESPN is not going to cover it. The mainstream sports networks are not going to talk about it. The reporters who cover the WNBA are going to pretend it never happened. Because the media establishment has decided that the WNBA is too important to criticize. The media has decided that women's basketball needs to be protected, even if that means ignoring blatant corruption. But independent creators like me, we are going to keep talking about it. We are going to keep showing the clips. We are going to keep demanding answers. And eventually the story is going to break wide open because the truth always comes out. If you do not see this story on ESPN within the next week, that tells you everything you need to know about who controls the narrative in sports media. Prediction number 4. Angel Reese is going to issue a non-apology apology. She is going to post something on social media saying that she did not mean for it to be taken seriously, that it was just a joke between friends, that she would never do anything to compromise the integrity of the game. And the league is going to accept that apology and move on. But here is the thing. It does not matter if it was a joke. It does not matter if she did not think it was a big deal. The rulebook does not have an exception for jokes. The rulebook does not say that gambling is allowed as long as you are just kidding. The rulebook says that any player who wagers money or anything of value on a WNBA game is subject to dismissal and disqualification. Period. So when Angel Reese posts her apology, I want you to remember that the rule is the rule. And if the league lets her off with a warning, that proves that the WNBA does not care about its own rulebook. Prediction number 5. This scandal is going to cost the WNBA credibility that it cannot afford to lose. The league has spent years trying to build legitimacy. The league has spent years trying to convince fans that the games are fair, that the officiating is consistent, that the outcomes are not predetermined. And in one deleted social media post, all of that credibility just evaporated. Because now every time there is a controversial call, fans are going to wonder if the fix is in. Every time a star player has a suspiciously bad game, fans are going to wonder if there is money on the line. Every time the league makes a decision that does not make sense, fans are going to assume that gambling is involved. That is the cost of letting Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers get away with this. That is the cost of deleting the post and pretending it never happened. That is the cost of operating with a double standard that protects stars and punishes everyone else. And if the WNBA does not fix this now, if the league does not take serious action, if Commissioner Kathy Engelbert does not prove that the rules apply to everyone, then this league is never going to be taken seriously. This league is never going to escape the accusations of corruption. And this league is never going to build the fan base it desperately needs. So here is what I need from you. Drop your most honest take in the comments. Do you think Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers are going to be suspended, or do you think the league is going to let them off with a warning? Pick a side, defend it. Tell me if you think the WNBA has any integrity left, or if this is proof that the league is exactly what people have been saying it is for years. And while you are down there, save this comment. I just gave you 5 predictions. If I am right about even 3 of them, come back to this video in 2 months and tell me. If I am wrong, roast me. I will own it. But I am telling you right now, I am not wrong. I have been covering this league long enough to know how it operates. And I am telling you that nothing is going to happen to Angel Reese and Paige Bueckers because the WNBA protects its stars no matter what they do. Tag the friend who keeps telling you that the WNBA is clean, that the games are fair, that the league has integrity. Make them watch this video. Make them explain how 2 players can admit to gambling on a game, get caught on camera, and face 0 consequences. Make them explain how that is acceptable in a professional sports league. And here is what is coming next. Tomorrow, we are breaking down the fallout from this scandal. We are going to talk about what the league office is saying behind closed doors. We are going to talk about which reporters are willing to cover this story and which ones are burying it. We are going to talk about what happens if the FBI actually gets involved. If you are not subscribed, you are going to miss it. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, because this story is just getting started. This is WNBA Flash. We will see you in the next video.